Hey y'all, it's Amanda and this is my Texas Zone 8 garden, and before we dive in, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this on your Facebook page. We are continuing with our summer seed starting series, and today's video is going to be focused on annuals that I'm going to start now from seed so that I can plant them out for my fall garden. Now these annuals are really going to be focused on fall color, fall texture that I can use for a lot of my containers and for my front and side borders at the front of my house. Okay, why start seeds in the summer? Many gardeners overlook summer seed starting, but it's the perfect time for fall color and for late season garden interest. And I like to start it all from seed because it's just way more budget friendly than if I go buy all these things at the local nursery. Summer started annuals have time to grow strong and hit their peak just as the summer annuals are fading, so which is really nice. So a lot of my zinnias and such that will begin fading, I'll be able to replace them with a lot of these other plants, which will be lovely. Saves hundreds by growing from seed instead of buying full-size plants from the garden centers in late summer or early fall. And this is definitely big for me. I always like to have a really big fall display. I cannot afford a really big fall display. I'd have to spend thousands of dollars to get the look that I want. Therefore, starting this from seed allows me to get that look for a much smaller price. I don't know why I'm sitting with my arms crossed. Okay, so let's talk about what we're going to be starting today. We're going to be starting Purple Majesty Ornamental Millet, Chimney Rudbeckia, Brunette Cosmidium, that's a new one for me, Strawberry Blonde Marigolds, and Inca 2 Primrose Marigolds. So all of those are going to be beautiful, great for borders, containers, and such. And then after I get those planted, I am going to show you a quick update of a lot of the seedlings I got back here, because a lot of them have sprouted, and those are all the perennials that we got started. We got shade and sun perennials started, and they're looking really good already. But let's get started. Okay, so I start all of my seeds typically inside. I don't do a ton of direct sowing. Inside works better for me. Direct sowing works good for some things, but not all things, especially at this time of the year because it is just too hot. And so the seeds dry out very fast outside. So it just really works for me to start things inside. Now we are going to be working with my Amazon seed starting trays. The link is in the video description if you're interested. These are inexpensive, smaller trays that really work well for a home gardener. Okay, so they have a 12 seed cell tray. Also comes with a water reservoir, just like that. And it comes with a humidity dome lid with an adjustable dial on it. And lots of y'all have used these and have been happy with them. I'm happy with the price and how long they last. I'm really happy with the size because this is just more appropriate for someone who has a small garden. I don't start a lot of trays of 72 anything. I do on some things, but typically a lot of those seedlings are going somewhere else. They're not going to be staying with me. All right, we're going to be using my favorite potting soil, which is Burger BM7. And I get this from Homegrown Plants in Farmersville, Texas. And I like it for seed starting and for potting up. There are some bigger pieces of bark in it. I just pull them out. I don't stress about it. I'm going to go ahead and just put the soil in. And we're not wanting to like compact it severely, but a light compaction is good. And then I just run my hand over the top to clear off anything just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and fill up all the trays for that now. Okay, we're going to start with Purple Majesty Ornamental Millet. And this was the star of my fall garden last year. Absolutely obsessed and loved it. Was very, very pretty. So this is about tall, 3 to 5 feet tall, dramatic purple foliage with dark feathery seed heads. Adds height and bold contrast to beds and bouquets. Grown as an annual, loves full sun. Can harvest seeds for next year, which I did harvest the seeds, but I also still have another packet of seeds that I just want to go ahead and use. All right, so let me bring y'all in closer so you can see. Now these seeds are planted about 1/4 of an inch deep. So I'm just using my little dauber, and this dauber actually comes with the set of Amazon seed trays that you guys were looking at, or that I was showing you. Any large pieces of bark I pull out. And this has 10 seeds in it. kind of feel like I should start 2 trays. Maybe we'll start some of the ones that I have that I had saved. Oh no. Did you hear it hit? No. Let me see if I see it anywhere. Well, maybe it fell in here. Darn, y'all. So I'm just going to put 1 in each hole. Okay, and then I have some saved. Now these still have like their little like floret seed coverings in there on them, so I like didn't roll out the seeds, but they'll still work. So I'm just going to go ahead and tuck in just like that. All right, and then we're going to make sure that these are covered. These need to be 1/4 inch deep. They do not need light for germination, so that's why we want to make sure that they're nice and covered. They need darkness for germination. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is fill 2 water reservoirs with at least 50% of the way with water. And we'll just go ahead and put those down in there. Okay, so I've put the name, I've put today's date, and I put the how many days it takes to germinate, which is 7 to 14 days. Then I put a heart on this one to make sure that I realize that this is the one that I harvested myself. We're going to go ahead and put the humidity domes on. Oh, that one doesn't have a dial. Making sure that the dial is closed. Okay, a little bit about Purple Majesty Ornamental Millet. We sowed the seeds about 1/4 inch deep. They do not need light for germination. It needs to be at about 70 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about the ambient temp of my home and the inside of my home at this time of year. They germinate in 7 to 14 days, and they also can be direct sown outside as well. I wouldn't be surprised if I had a few that maybe pop up from the area that I had them planted in last year. Now, with these, since they don't need light to germinate, I'm not going to put them up here. I'm actually just going to put them on the edge of the table back here. And then I will keep an eye on them. And once they germinate, I will put them under the grow lights. When they're under the grow lights, they are under there 14 hours a day. Okay, the next on my list is Chimney Rudbeckia, which I'm super excited about. It is a unique semi-double to fully double blooms in rich fall tones, bronze, gold, mahogany, and rust with quirky variegated petal shapes, almost like a quill shape, which is pretty. It's an annual in most areas and it prefers full sun. I'm really excited to get this one started. I kind of feel like this one is going to be the wow factor in my garden this year. I did want to say all of my seeds are from Swallowtail Garden Seeds. That's my favorite seed place to order from. And no, I'm not sponsored by them. I do not receive discounts, anything like that. I pay just as much as all of y'all. I just love it. It's good quality, good prices. All right, let me bring y'all in closer so you can see these. So it looks like there's 12 in here, and these are pretty good sized plants at 24 to 30 inches. So I don't actually think I'm going to start all of them. I don't know. It would be a lot. I just can't imagine that I would need that many at all. So I think I'm just going to, I think what I'm going to do is I really want these to happen because they're such an important part of my design for fall. So I think these are tiny little seeds. I think I'm going to use 2 of these per container. Now, these are surface sow, do not cover, need light. So we're just going to go ahead and drop a couple on the top of each seed cell. So I'm definitely overseeding these. You could spread these out into separate containers if you wanted. Also, if these all germinate really well, which would be amazing, I can always go and prick out the seeds and move them to additional containers. So I'm just going to come in and gently press, making sure I'm not moving seeds from one to the next. Just pressing them gently to make sure that they have good contact with the soil. And remember, they are surface sow, so we're not covering them. And I've got my water reservoir, so we're just going to go ahead and fill that up 50% of the way. Add my seeds. All right, and I put the name on there, today's date, and how many days to germination, which is 7 to 14 days till germination. And then I'm going to go ahead and take a humidity dome, put that on top, making sure the dial is closed. Okay, so those were surface sowed, do not cover. They must have light for germination. So in regards to that, I'm just going to take them and put them directly under, let's see. I'm going to pull up a few that have already germinated because they'll be moving to the bigger shelves, and then that'll make room. So I'm just going to slide these right under so that they have light to germinate, and these lights are on 14 hours a day. These need to be at about 70 to 75 degrees to germinate, which is the ambient temperature in my house, which is also why I don't put them outside. It's super hot outside, right? 7 to 14 days to germinate, can be sown outside. Pinch young plants to encourage branching, and I will show y'all that process when they sprout and get bigger. But I'm really excited because, like I said, these Chimney Rudbeckia are a big part of my design plan for the fall. Okay, next on my list is Brunette Cosmidium, and that is brand new to me. It is a petite daisy-like flowers with warm yellow petals edged in dark reddish brown. Blooms profusely on bushy plants about 12 to 18 inches tall, and it's great for mass plantings and as a cut flower. It's an annual and it loves full sun. Really excited to give these out. I'm always excited when I can find like some brown tones I think are really fun to mess around with. So let me bring y'all in closer so you can see what these seeds look like. Okay, these are about 1/8 of an inch deep, so not very deep at all. So I'm just barely going to make a hole for them. They do not need light for germination, so they're going to sit on the side with the purple millet. Let's just pull those out. Really nice. There's 150 seeds in here. We do not need 150 of these. These are an experiment this year to see what I like. If I like them, we can do a lot. We can plan for a lot more in the future. So I'm going to double seed them, put a couple of seeds in each hole, just to make sure we get really good germination. Y'all, I'm dropping all the seeds today. That's not good. Because then they end up in my soil and they come up other places. All right, so I'm going to gently cover these. Remember, no light for germination. Then I'm going to add my water 50% of the way. Drop that in and then add a humidity dome. Oh, we actually have to add a label. All right, adding my label, today's date, and then dates of germination, which is 7 to 10 days. And we'll put our humidity dome on, making sure the dial is closed. Okay, I'm excited about these. So 1/8 of an inch deep. They do not need light for germination, so I'm going to put them on the far end of the table with the purple millet. And just so you know, all of these, there's a bunch of extra lights on right now because I'm filming. Those are all turned off, so they will have a good amount of darkness. And this needs about 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit to germinate. It's a little bit warmer in my house than that, but we're going to go with it because it's what I have. And it's 7 to 10 days to germination. These are fast growers and can be direct sown as well. Okay, and then last for today, we're going to do 2 varieties of marigolds. The first one is Inca 2 Primrose Marigold. It is large, up to 4-inch bloom, soft primrose, yellow blooms on sturdy 12 to 14-inch plants. Strong, weather-resistant flowers, ideal for fall color blocks, which is awesome. And they are annuals and they require full sun. As well as Strawberry Blonde Marigolds, which I'm super excited about. These are unique multi-tone blooms in soft pinks, apricots, and warm yellows. Flowers shift color with age and temperature, creating a beautiful fall palette. Super excited. These are annual and full sun as well. Now, both of these have, let's see, the Inca has 25 seeds. The Marigold has 50 seeds. I'm going to probably do a lot of the Marigold, of the Strawberry Blonde Marigold. All right, let me bring you in closer so you can see these seeds. Okay, we're going to start with the Inca. And marigold seeds are long and thin seeds. They have a pointed end and they have a flat end. And if you put the pointed end down into the soil, and on the pointed end, this pointed end is lighter in color than the flat end. But if you take the pointed end and you push it down into the soil like that, that ensures that it gets darkness, just like that. So if you're unsure though, you can bury these laying flat and just cover them with soil. So I'm literally putting in 1 by 1 seed, pointy end down, flat end up. All right, and I think I'm only going to do 12 of the Inca. Go ahead and label that one and move it to the side. And then I'm going to do 3 trays of the strawberry blonde. Sticking those straight up and down. In the past, I've just laid them down. I think I'm going to go back to just laying them down because that was unpleasant. My neck hurts. All right, and we're going to fill a humidity dome for each of these, 50% of the way. All right, and we're going to put a humidity dome on each one, making sure that the dial is closed. Okay. I now have 7 containers that don't need light. So I think what I'm going to do is do a little bit of maneuvering. And I think I'm going to put them up here. And then I'll just turn this light off, or I will cover them with a towel. Okay, and then I've got a towel. Made my little bumblebee. I'm just going to go like that. To help keep those in the dark. Okay, a little bit more about the marigold. They are buried about 1/4 of an inch deep. You guys saw that you put the pointy end down first with the flat end up at the top for a better germination. Does not need light for germination, so we've got it covered. 70 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit to germinate, which is perfect for the temperature inside my house. Only 5 to 7 days to germinate, and these are excellent for pollinators. The marigolds really attract them. Now, I do struggle with some spider mites with marigolds, so as soon as these go out, they will be treated with a little bit of probably Captain Jack spray, just to keep those at bay at the beginning. And I noticed they only struggle with those in the beginning, and then once I've sprayed them a couple of times, they do fine. Okay, a few things about aftercare and transplanting. So aftercare. So once at least 50% of your seedlings have germinated within your container, you're going to remove the humidity dome lid, allowing it to have air. And those that are in darkness, you're going to make sure that they are as close to a light as possible. So really close on the light. This top shelf is not great for germinating. I prefer this one where it's only about 6 inches difference there. As close to the light as possible. So like I said, the ones in the dark, as soon as they germinate, go ahead and move them to the light. You need to be checking on these on a daily basis, these ones under here, because if they germinate and they don't have light for a couple of days, they will get all tall and wonky and will not be good seedlings in the end. So really excited about that. Remove the humidity dome after 50% of them have germinated. I have lots of people who ask how many days in between waterings. I cannot give you an exact thing because all of our spaces are different. You need to check on your seedlings every day. If they're looking dry, you need to add more water. When the humidity domes are on, if you're not seeing humidity building up in the domes, you probably need more water, okay? Or you need to make sure your humidity dome is sealed better. But I can't tell you how many days, how often to water your seedlings, because your space might be drier or more humid than my space. My space is very dry. So I water more often than not, but check on them every day. If the soil is dry to the touch, as the top of the soil is dry to the touch, add a little bit more water. You don't have to fill up the whole reservoir, but add up a little bit more water into it and really continue to observe them. Okay, once these are big enough, when they have about 2 to 3 sets of true leaves, the first set of leaves you see sprout, those are seed leaves. After that, everything else is true leaves. So once they have 2 to 3 sets of true leaves, then you can pot these up into larger containers and continue to grow them on inside. At that point, once they have 2 to 3 sets of true leaves, I begin fertilizing them with Alaskan fish emulsion. I just use a very reduced amount of that, just a glob of it in my big watering can, and water them, fertilize them that way, which works really great. continue to grow them on. Once you're ready to move them outside, they need about 7 to 10 days of hardening off outside in partial shade before transplanting them into your garden. And these are annuals. I hope to get these out in September. I would love maybe the first 2 to 3 weeks of September, get these out, and then they'll look really good September, October, November, and then they'll all finally die off probably sometime in December. Okay, I want to bring y'all in real quick to show you some of the seeds that have already sprouted. Okay, let's start over here at the end. Some of these are more recent. Blazing Sunset Jam was on the 16th. I don't see anything sprouting. Powwow, I do see it starting to sprout in there. Got a few. That's Powwow Echinacea. This is Prairie Splendor Echinacea, and you can see a little bit of green in there. They're starting to sprout. The Chimney we just did. This is Sunburst Coreopsis, which was supposed to be 21 to 30 days to germinate. And y'all, I did this on the 16th. It's only been 5 days. Those are looking really good. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the humidity dome on that because, wow, that looks great. Awesome. All right, over here, Crazy Daisy, which was supposed to be 10 to 20 days to sprout. Crazy Daisy, Shasta Daisy, took 5. Looking really great as well. Time to remove the humidity dome on that one. Next, we have Bergamo Bee Balm. Supposed to be 10 to 14 days. Did 5 days. Look at that. Beautiful. Time to remove the humidity dome on that one. Let's see. This is newest hybrid coral bells. We started this on the 12th and still no sign. So we're 9 days in and it takes 10 to 21 days. So we're getting close. This one is also coral bells. This one right here I am seeing sprouting. This is the Black Barlow Columbine. You can see the teeny little sprouts in there. Looking good. It's 20 to 30 days. I'm going to give it a little bit longer, a few more days. This one right here is Grande Astilbe, and I do see some sprouts. Not a ton, but just a few. And this one was 21 to 35 days, so we're going to give it a little bit longer. And then this one is Grande Astilbe as well, and I do see some sprouts in there too. Okay, I did want to show you that once I remove their humidity domes, I like to take the tray, the seed tray, out of the water reservoir, and then I can get 6 of them in my 10 by 20 grow trays or water reservoirs. And I just dump the extra water in here, no big deal. You do have to really keep an eye on these because they can dry out very quickly. So like I said, you're going to be checking on these every single day. And I'm going to put these under the lights on the big shelf just because those have a little bit more intensity. And this area is really just for sprouting, and then the bigger shelf is for growing on. All right, you all, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. There is going to be another video of annuals I'm going to be starting. Those annuals are going to be Tidy Tips, Burning Embers Celosia, and then a bunch of varieties of coleus, Coral Candy, Chocolate Covered Cherry, Dark Chocolate, Fairway Mosaic, Fairway Orange Coleus, which should be really, really fun. Lots of coleus for my fall garden. But I hope you guys, I hope this encourages you, if you're not doing it this season, encourages you to kind of start thinking about your next year and how you might be able to grow some things during the summer for fall displays. As a reminder, I'm also going to be growing things at the end of the summer, such as violas and pansies and Dusty Miller and things like that from seed. And I'll be planting that out in late winter for my winter displays, which will be great as well. All right, you all, as always, make sure you like and comment on the video. Every time you like and comment, it helps grow the video and my channel. It really helps to continue to support me. If you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment, just drop me an emoji below, letting me know that you made it to the very end of the video and that you say hi. And be sure to check me out in my Patreon community. The link is in the video description below. It is all things She's a Mad Gardener, all things gardening, and it's really nice. We've got up to like 150 people now. It's really, really great. There is a free tier that you can join in under, and there are additional paid tiers. The paid tiers obviously go to support me as I continue my journey as a gardener. But then with those paid tiers, you get some extra benefits, including exclusive videos only available to particular patrons, as well as group chats and photo sharing. As always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.